What's going on, people? Welcome back to Premzy TV. And oh my days, absolute fuckery. I'm telling you now, there's no buttering over it. Yeah, it's literally another 2 points dropped. And this is becoming a joke now. We've not won in 3 games and we've only got Man City to come next. It's going to be absolutely dreadful. But now, if Man City win, they're going to go 3 points behind us with an opportunity to level it if they beat us at the Emirates. It's all a bit of a mad thing right about now. But look, people, make sure you smash a like on the video. You got people saying Banter FC in the club in the chat. Go and sort your head out, mate. You're still top of the table. And like I said, you can't win every single game, but it's just disappointing today. It's absolutely disappointed. When you look at it, the situation, yeah, Brentford come and they had a game plan. It looks like Everton have basically set the blueprint for everybody to play against Arsenal in that kind of fashion. These man turned into Stoke City today. They turned into Stoke City. Literally, you get me? As soon as that first half kicked off, they had 11 bodies behind the ball. They were just kicking the ball up long, pointing it up. And it was just very difficult for Arsenal to break them down at all. Very difficult for Arsenal to break them down. But look, when you deep the situation, we need a plan B. We really do need a plan B. And I've been screaming out for a striker, somebody big, somebody tall, who could come on and literally just put the ball in the box and they could get the head onto it. Something a little bit different. But no, we don't have that option. We need to be breaking teams down. And today was another example of it. You get me? These man watched the Everton game, even on set pieces and corners. They literally just put everyone towards the back post, try to put the ball in towards the back post and hope for something to happen. It's a bit of a mad thing. It's absolutely a bit of a mad thing because I expected to see a response from the boys. Now, it wasn't all bad. Like, I did see some good football in there. It was just we couldn't break them down. We absolutely couldn't break them down. You get me? And the second half, Brentford come out. They were a little bit more expansive. That's what opened it up for us to get the goal. You get me? That's what opened up for us to get the goal. But then we couldn't hang on to the lead for 10 minutes. We couldn't hang on to the lead for 10 minutes. And that is mad. That's something that we've not seen at the Emirates this season. We've been very, very efficient. And over the last couple of games, yeah, we've just been conceding from set pieces. And I don't understand where the mentality is at right about now on set pieces. Now, because they've conceded a few goals, are they a little bit shaky or whatnot? It's a bit of a mad thing, people. It is a bit of a mad thing. But look, from the start, I was asking for Trossard to start. Right from the get-go, I want even Tomiyasu to start this game as well. I feel like players in the squad, they need a little bit of rotation because we're becoming a little bit too predictable. Like, it works hand in hand. You can have the same 11 players every single week and you can have that consistency, that chemistry to push on and keep doing what you're doing. But on the other hand, you can become very predictable and people can study who's plays like what position other people are in, and they can try to counter your attack, counter your defense in certain situations. Now, this is why we need a strong squad. We brought in the likes of Trossard. We've got Tomiyasu on the bench. We've got Kieran Tierney on the bench. Rotate, because for me, Zinchenko today had a stinker. He had a stinker. It was loads of chances that he was trying to put players through and it was just getting blocked out. Trying to play the ball through the eye of a needle and it just was not working out. You get me? But it's a hard one to swallow. I'm not going to lie. It is a hard one to swallow because it was very frustrating to watch that game. I just seen someone in the comments, Spencer, say frustrating to drop 2 points, but overreacting does more harm than good. Listen, bro, I'll be honest with you. If you've watched that game, yeah, and you're not starting to get a little bit worried because over these last couple games, we've had an opportunity to put ourselves 11 points clear of Man City. And at the moment, that's looking like it's falling real quick and real fast. These kind of games at home against Brentford, we need to be winning these kind of games if we want to go and put the title in the bag. These are must-win games, especially when you go and get the lead, especially when you're 1-0 up as well. You don't just throw it away. And that's why it's so surprising. That's why it's so frustrating to a lot of us because we've not been accustomed to seeing this season. We've been seeing a very efficient Arsenal. And over the last couple of games, we've not really been efficient enough. Like, in bits of the game, I would say, yeah, towards the start of the second half, we were putting the pressure on and we were upping the levels. But then as soon as we got that goal, go out there, try to kill the game off, go and step on man's neck. Don't just rest on your laurels and let teams get back into it. So it is a little bit dwelling. It's a little bit dwelling because in the last 2 games, we've dropped 5 points. You get me? We've took 1 point out of 2 games, which is a bit mad. Look, Marcel's in the cut saying it's a fair result. Brentford deserves something from that game. Honestly, they are now 10 games unbeaten and are no mugs. You know what? They are a well-drilled team, but you got to understand, Marcel, yeah, we've already beaten this team once, and we beaten this team at their ground when they were on top form, when they were coming off the back of good results. So we've got it in our locker to beat them. It's just we as a club need to have a plan B. When one tactic's not working, deploy a different tactic. You get me? Let's see something different. We're not seeing the overlaps enough. We're not seeing the support for Martinelli and Saka enough on the wings. We need to be seeing that. Like, I'm not trying to lose my head and I'm not trying to put it all down to certain situations, but you got to call it as you see it. You got to take it game by game. And in today's game, we just couldn't find to break them down. We couldn't break them down. And you got to give Brentford credit. You got to give Brentford credit. They made it very difficult for us. They had about 11 men behind the ball all the time. But it's just, man is gutted. Akib, literally gutted. Took the words out of my mouth. Absolutely gutted. But it's a mad thing. It's an absolute mad thing. Let's get a few of your comments in as well, man, because it's a bit of a joke. Teams are going to play low block against you lot now and be very physical. 100%. Like I said, Everton set the blueprint, really. Everton are basically shown teams how to frustrate us and show teams what to do against Arsenal. And you can clearly see Brentford took a lot out of that Everton game because very rarely you see people overloading at the back post on set pieces. However, they had every single player on the back post. So they clearly been studying, and you expect them to do so. You expect them to go out there and study what is going on. But we need to be able to break teams down in different ways. Different ways. Roadman TV, why is nobody talking about how the goal was offside? I'll be honest with you, my stream was fucking around, yeah, where it was freezing up, so I couldn't even get a clear picture of it. But when I look back at it afterwards and I seen it, it looked like Ben White's hand was playing him onside, which is a bit of a mad thing. And I don't even know, because of obviously, like I said, the stream was on a bit of a fuckery. I don't even know if the free kick build-on up to that was the one that was given against William Saliba when Ivan Toney had his arms wrapped all around his back, and do you know what I mean? And I don't know if that was given as the free kick. So it is a bit of a mad thing. You got United man in here laughing. You got all these people in here laughing. But at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world, innit? It isn't the end of the world. We are going to move on. It's all about the next game now. If we could beat Man City on Wednesday, then happy days, happy days. Then it puts us on another high. It puts us 3 more points ahead of them. But it's just, we don't want to keep relying on other people to be taking points off Man City for the outcome of our season. We need to be doing that ourselves. We could be 11 points clear right now if we would have won our last 2 games. But unfortunately, that's not the case. That is not the case. So we still have to be positive in certain aspects, because if we start fucking throwing it all to shit now, then we ain't going to have no hope to win the title. And this is our best opportunity to go and win this title. But when you're seeing results like this coming in, it's a mad thing. Miles says City will lose tomorrow. Just watch. I'm hoping Unai Emery can do us a favour. Tottenham done us a favour last week. Hopefully Unai Emery can step in and do something this week. But it's just difficult to take. It really is difficult to take. And I'm sitting here and I'm absolutely frustrated out of my nut. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to be as positive as I possibly can be. But it's very hard when you've only picked up 1 point in 2 games, and it's very hard. And I want to see rotation now. I want to see Tomiyasu play against Man City. I want to see, maybe I'll leave Zinchenko win because he's going to have to, he's going to want to show something to his old club that, right, you shouldn't have really let me go or whatnot. He's going to have his own little ego around that. But I want to see something different. There might be an opportunity to play Trossard as the false 9 and let Martinelli stay out on the left. There's an opportunity for Trossard to go out on the left. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's one of them. Do we bring in a Jorginho and a Thomas Partey in the middle of the pitch against Man City? Do we play a bit more pragmatic, or do we just go and play our game? The difference is Man City ain't going to come and play like Brentford. Man City ain't going to play like Everton. They're going to come to play football. So for me, it's whoever's better on the day, innit? It's whoever's better on the day. So I'm just got my fingers crossed. We know that people are getting onto Eddie and Nketiah, but at the same time, we need to realise I don't think a lot of fans expected a lot from Eddie and Nketiah when Jesus got injured. And the guy's come in and he's basically, he's done his job. He has done his job. It's only over the last couple of games he hasn't really had that service and he hasn't hit the back of the net. But we can't be down Eddie Nketiah's neck too much because me, for instance, I didn't expect nothing from him. And the guy's come in and he's done all right still. But Arteta needs to be changing the tactics. He needs to be looking at maybe starting a Trossard. Trossard's hungry. Look, he got his goal today. Big up to Trossard as well for getting his goal. But he's hungry. He's just moved from Brighton. He's come to a big club. He's going to want to prove himself. Give these players an opportunity to show what they can do. Because Martinelli, since he's come back from the World Cup, for me, he's not been the same player. Like, I love Martinelli and I don't want to get on his back too tough, but you got to call it as you see it. You got to call it as you see it. We got away with that. Brentford goal was fine. You know what? Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just frustrated. I'm not even trying to look at anything too tough now. But the table, you get me wrong, 51 points when we could have been 53. Obviously, I don't know whether Tottenham have actually lost that game or not. Let me just have a quick scan on the results as well, because I haven't even looked at the results still. But this is what I mean. Like, people are too focused about everybody else, man. We just need to kind of focus on ourselves and do the job. What's asked from us. It's just difficult when you're at home. You're expecting to win. Like, literally expecting to win. Yeah, Tottenham lost. Obviously, Chelsea, West Ham drew 1-1. Fulham won 2-0 against Nottingham Forest. Palace, Brighton 1-1. Right, the Wolves beat Southampton 2-1 after getting a man sent off. That's a bit of a mad thing still. But I don't know, man. It's absolutely just an absolute joke. Nah, Premzy, it ain't right to not be on these guys' back. Big up clubs. You gotta perform at least every other game. Nah, you gotta be performing every game. When you're going for the title, bro, you gotta be performing every single game. You get me? You gotta be going at it with 100% intensity, 100% effort, 100% commitment. And the moment players ain't showing you that kind of commitment, take them the fuck off and bring somebody else on. Because you gotta be looking at it. The players that are on the bench, they're gonna be hungry to be playing. They're gonna be hungry to want to get a claim to start week in, week out. Because we're at top of the table. There's a good opportunity for us to go on and win this league. But then when you're dropping points now, what is this going to do to the players' emotions? What is this going to do to the players' mentality now? Now they're going to be looking at it and thinking, you know what? Teams are going to come, drop in, sit back against. So it's going to be difficult to play against. But it is what it is. I think, it helped us that Brentford came out in the second half and tried to play a bit more expansive. Yeah, but then it didn't help. As soon as we get the goal, don't concede straight away. They conceded and they just went back to Stoke City. They went back to putting everyone behind the ball. It's a fucking joke, bro. I'm telling you, I'm actually fuming. I'm trying to sit here and be as level-headed as I can, but I am fucking fuming. Absolutely fuming. I'm not going to lie. Xhaka gets in positions, doesn't shoot, doesn't do a killer pass, doesn't take on a few players. You know what? Yeah, Granit Xhaka, over the last couple of games, he looks like the Granit Xhaka of old. Get me, barring the yellow and red cards. He hasn't really lived up to what he's done from the start of the season. But I knew this time was going to come where we were going to have a little bit of a blip. But it's about how you bounce from this blip, bounce back. Like, now, the perfect game is Man City to play. Even though we all might be looking at it and thinking, you know what, it's not the perfect game. It is the perfect game, because if we win this game now against Man City on Wednesday, it'll just shut everybody back up now, because people are going to be looking at Arsenal thinking, oh, it looks like that collapse is coming. It looks like that collapse is coming. But we know what we've seen from our team this season. We know we're better than that. We know we're better than what we've seen at Everton, and we know we're better than what we've seen today. Because in large parts of the game today, it's not like we were awful. We just couldn't break man down. We couldn't break man down. And it's starting to become frustrating. Do you know, when you're sitting there and you've got all the ball, all the possession, 70% possession in that first half, and you can't break them down. And then when you're getting opportunities to shoot, is going in roll Z. Nah, you got to be hitting the target. There's a few opportunities in that game where we were just smacking the ball and it was going high, wide, and not very handsome. You got to be hitting the target. Professional footballers, they're getting paid wedge, that are training every single day. They got to be hitting the target, because you don't know what can happen. Put the ball into the box. I know we've only got Eddie and Ketia in there, but you put it in dangerous zones in the box, you don't know what can happen. Look at Leeds versus United. Varane put the ball into his back of his own net, took it away from De Gea because the ball came into a dangerous area. You got to be doing that. I want to see more dark arts from Arsenal as well. Get yourself in the box. If you get touch, go down. Everyone else seems to do it. We need to do it as well. We're too much. We're too much of a saint. Like, it's a mad thing. It's a mad thing. We miss Jesus a lot. Martinelli thrived when he was in the team. You know what? I think a lot of players thrived off Gabriel Jesus because he's one player in the team that is very, very unpredictable. Gabriel Jesus is very unpredictable. He'll get the ball, he'll take it on his right foot, take it on his left foot. You don't know if he's going left or right, in behind. He's a very, very versatile player. And this is what we need to get back in the squad now. We need him back. We definitely need him back. But at the same time, do we want to rush him back? Because if he ends up picking up another knock, he's going to could potentially be out for a longer because he had a serious knee injury. And them kind of injuries, sometimes it could take some time coming back from. So we're going to have to be very careful with him. But I want to see Emil Smith Rowe. We see he's back in training. We need to see him back into the team. So he could come off the bench and impact a game, unlock a defense because he's a flair player. It's just frustrating. Absolutely frustrating. Absolutely pissed off. I'm not going to lie. Big up yourself, bro. Make sure you use man of smashing a like on this video and also subscribe if you're new, yeah, because a lot of the people that watch my shit, they're not even subscribed, and I don't understand why it's fucking free. All you got to do is hit the subscribe, yeah, and you'll turn your notifications on, and you're just going to get raw, real content. Just say it exactly as it is, not buttering over nothing. And I'm telling you now, for a fact, people, we want to hit that 6K, and I want to do it real quick. So I'd appreciate it if you smash that like button so we can push the content out and get a subscribe, because I think I deserve it. I'm not going to lie. I think I actually do deserve it. Saka is fine. You know what? Yeah, I think, see, with Saka, all this doubling up on him is taking a toll. You get me? For me, Ben White as well, he's not been the same Ben White. Like, we need to give Tomiyasu a go. We need to give Tomiyasu that time, because I don't know what's wrong with Arteta and not really giving Tomiyasu that opportunity. We've seen against Liverpool early in the season, he played Tomiyasu as a left back. The guy came in and did an absolute brilliant job. Do you know what I mean? Give him that opportunity on the right. He goes, he overlaps. He might not be the best crosser of the ball, but he puts himself in that position. He's tall, he's strong, he's good at set pieces. Ben White looks so lackluster. It's unreal. He looks drained, absolutely drained. I don't know what's going on, man, but these players need to pull their socks up real quick, real fast. They need to pull their socks up. Adil says, Trossard was good today. He did. He came on and you're seeing a difference. When Trossard come on, you're seeing a difference. He was there in the right place, right time, and got his goal. But I don't know. We need to think of a plan B real quick, man, because there's going to be a lot more of this season. There's going to be a lot more teams coming to the Emirates, or when we go there, they're going to play exactly how Everton and Brentford played against us today. And you know what? I think Everton played a little bit more expansive than Brentford. I'm not going to lie. I think Everton, yeah, they were hitting the ball up long, but they were trying to be on the front foot and attack as well. Where Brentford in the first half, I'm telling you, they squeezed us. They squeezed us, so everything was coming down the middle. They squeezed the life out of us today. Just so frustrating, man. I'm telling you. Somebody saying Onana would have been a good signing for you lot. Bro, I agree. Big unit, you get me? Somebody strong, physical, can learn off Thomas Partey, come on and give us something totally different. Definitely agree. Definitely agree. Tony is a bad man. I don't know what Tony is on. Yeah, he must have been fucking going in at halftime, betting on his phone. Yeah, that he's going to be going down in the 92nd minute to pull his hamstring, because these men were just wasting some crazy time towards the end. Which I suppose if I was in that situation, I'll probably do the same thing. But it's just, like I said, it's frustrating to fuck. Earl Premzy, we need to get Jesus back urgently. I agree, but at the same time, like I just touched on, I don't want to rush him back too early, so he ends up picking up another niggle, and then we're pretty much screwed, because Eddie Nketiah, he's done well for the most part, but you're starting to see now that we need something a little bit different. Eric, I don't think we should panic. A lot of games to go. Bro, this is why man's probably panicking a little bit, because there is a lot of games to go. And right now, it looks like we're finding it hard to break down teams, and we're getting goals scored against us from set pieces, something that we've not seen. Gary Neville is giving City players motivational talks. He's working for City, and so is Ferdinand. They hate us, bro. A lot of teams hate us, bro. A lot of teams don't want us to actually to win the title. But I'm guessing if you're a true United fan, you're gonna want to you're gonna want Arsenal to win because I don't think you're gonna want City to clinch them three in a row. And football's all based on history, based on bragging rights. So I don't know where their heads at, but it's all a bit of a mad thing. Lucas says he thinks the title hopes are over if we lose Wednesday. Bro, it could well be. You let Man City back into the title race, bro. It can look sticky, but the only positive thing that we've got is that Man City ain't the same Man City of last season. Man City are having blips themselves. There's no given that they're going to go and beat Aston Villa because Aston Villa, Unai Emery, we know he's one of their managers that gets his players up for the big games and he can get results. So we're going to have to wait and see. But it's a very tricky one today. I don't really know how to feel. I want to be positive. I want to stay positive. But what I've seen in front of me is that we're starting to halter a little bit. You get me? That's 5 points dropped in the last two games. You get me? That's two defeats and a draw. That's not one win in three games, which is not like us this season. So we have to win this Man City game. Or most important of all, we cannot lose this Man City game. Literally, we cannot lose this Man City game. If we draw, that's got to be the worst case scenario. But we have to look to go and get the 3 points. I think in the FA Cup against Man City, we played well, especially in that first half. We played very well. Second half, we took Thomas Partey off. It didn't quite fall into play. You had Sambi Lakonga there. You seen for the goal, the Nathan Ake goal. The guy was just in limbo. He didn't know exactly where he was and couldn't close anyone down. Wasn't marking anyone. Hopefully, fingers crossed, the atmosphere is electric at the Emirates on Wednesday. I am going to be going down. I will be doing a match day vlog as well. So make sure you stay tuned in for that, people. But it looks like it's a bit of a mad thing right about now. Arsenal won, Brentford won, people. I'm telling you now, I'm going to leave it there with you. Obviously, big up to everybody in the chat. Like I said, make sure you subscribe if you're new. Like this video on your way out, people. But it is what it is. We move. We have to go and beat Man City on Wednesday now, people. But peace and love, and we'll see you on the next one.